Hello, welcome to the Cloud Factory. In my next video I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful jacket style kurti. For that you are going to need a special basic pattern set which are made for tailored tops. So in this video I'm going to show you how to make these patterns. Also, I want to invite you to join my next online classes. I will be teaching you how to make basic patterns for men and boys, and with these patterns you will be able to make any possible garment you want to make for gents or for boys. All the information I will leave you in the description box below this video. Just go to that link for registration. For the back pattern, we are going to start drawing a 90 degrees angle in our paper in the left side. And now this corner, we will call it 0 if you want to have a reference from where to start the measurements. So from 0 in the horizontal, mark 1/5 part of your neck contour, and in the vertical mark 1 inch for all sizes. I'm going to use these 2 points to trace a rectangle, and this will be for the curve of the neckline. Now here in the horizontal mark half of your shoulder's width from one shoulder to another, and in that point we are going to square a line. Now from 0 in the vertical, mark the half of your back length from shoulders to waist and add 0.5 inch. Square a line like this. And now here we are going to mark the shoulder slope. It will be 1.5 inch for all sizes, and join with this point to trace the shoulder. Now in this horizontal line we are going to mark 1/4 part of your breast contour, and I am going to add 5 millimeters. Now here in the vertical I am going to mark my back length, in this case for me 16, and in that point I will square an horizontal line. In that line I am going to mark 1/4 part of my waist contour, and from that point I will join with this armhole point to trace the side of my pattern. Now this segment divided by the middle, mark the middle point, and in that point square a line upwards, reaching the armhole line. Here we are going to mark 1.5 centimeters to each side of the line to make a 3 centimeters total width dart, and here I am going to mark 1 inch. Then I will join these points to trace my dart. Now here we have a dart of 3 centimeters, so once you close the garment it will be tight. To avoid that, these 3 centimeters I will add it here, and to this space we call it dart gain. From that point join with this one, and there you have the side of your pattern. Now here you have to mark the half for the armhole curve, and in that point square a small line, and in that line mark 5 millimeters. Now take the measurement of this segment. This segment is called armhole extension. That measurement, mark it here and add 5 millimeters. Now this corner we are going to trace a bisector line of it in this way, and in that bisector line I am going to mark the half of my armhole extension, and I am going to add 2 millimeters. I will start joining these 3 points. First, to trace the armhole curve with my French curve in this way, and now these 3 points like this. And there you have it. Now mark the middle point of this line and from there trace a curve for the neckline. Now here mark from your shoulders to your hips, that length, for me is 21.5, and square a line here. And here mark 1/4 part of your hips contour and add 5 mm, and from that point trace a line reaching here. Now here also from the dart gain to this side. Now extend the central line of the dart, of the waist dart, and in that line from the waist mark 10 cm and join with the side dart points, like this. Now here I'm going to square a line, and here another one for the bottom part of my pattern. Doesn't matter the length because this is a basic pattern, so you can adjust the length later. Anyway, I will check it how much I have, 31.5, and I will note it here so I can use it for my for my front pattern also. Now let's make our front pattern. For that you are going to trace a 90 degrees angle as well, but in the opposite side of the paper, like this. And this corner we will call it 0 also. And here in the horizontal I am going to mark 1/5 part of my neck contour, and also here 1/5 part of neck contour, and I will use these 2 points to trace a square like this. Now here I am going to mark half of my shoulder measurement, and I'm going to reduce 6 mm. Reduce it here. In that point I will trace a line, a vertical line, and now I am going to take the measurement of the armhole in my back pattern. That measurement I will mark it here, and I am going to reduce 3 cm, like this. In that point I will square a line, and I am going to extend the line for the armhole extension. Here I will mark 3 cm for the shoulder slope this time, and I will trace my shoulder. Now here I am going to mark the front length from shoulders to waist, and from that point I am going to square a line. Now in the armhole line I'm going to mark 1/4 part of my breast contour, and I will add 1 inch. And here I am going to mark 1/4 part of my waist contour, and I will add 5 mm. Join these 2 points for the side of your pattern. Now from this point here in the neckline you are going to mark the highest point of the breast, that is from your shoulder to your nipple. Mark it here and take this point as a reference to square a line from the central line of your pattern in this way. In that line you are going to mark the half of the breast separation, which is from one nipple to another. Mark the half of that measurement here, and this is called the apex point. Here it will be the point for our darts. Extend this line. Now from the apex point square a line reaching the waistline like this. And from here, from the apex point, mark 1 inch in this horizontal and 1 inch in this vertical. These are going to be the starting points for our darts. Now from this line, in the side line, mark downwards 1.5 centimeters and trace a line. Join this point. This will be the central line for our side dart. Now check this. The length of my back from waist to shoulders is 16 and in the front is 17. That difference is because of the breast. The difference of that, it will be the width of your side dart. For me the difference is 1 inch, so I will mark ½ inch to each side of the central line, and then I will join with this point to make my dart. Now for the waist dart, keep 3 centimeters for all sizes, 1.5 centimeters to each side of the central line, and join with this point to make your dart. Now here I am going to add also, like in the back, the dart again, 3 centimeters here, and join with this point. And extend the lines of the side dart. You can avoid this step if you trace first the waist dart. Now here mark the hip's length, same as in the back, and trace a line. And there mark 1/4 part of hip's contour and add 1 centimeter. And join with this point, and also with this point. Now extend the dart in the same way, 10 centimeters here, same like in the back. And mark the same length we have in the back. If you remember, it was 31.5 inch, and close your pattern like this. Now for the neckline, trace a line from this corner to this one, like this. And from the point 0 downwards, mark 1/5 part of your neck contour, which is the same I have here and here, and trace a neckline curve, but keep 1 centimeter here. Now take the half of your armhole extension and mark it here, and add 5 millimeters. Mark the middle point of the armhole line and square a line there, and in that line you are going to mark 1 centimeter. And here trace the bisector line of this corner, and in that bisector line you are going to mark 1/3 part of the armhole extension, and you are going to add 3 millimeters. Join the first 3 points first with your French curve, and before to join the next points you have to check the measurement of the shoulder in the back pattern. Then you are going to transfer this measurement exactly the same in the front shoulder. I have to increase it like for about 5 millimeters. And now from this new point, I will trace the rest of my armhole curve. The main point is that the both shoulders has to be the same. Now cut your patterns. This is my back pattern. And the front pattern, cut it, but give extra extra paper here in the side. Then fold the side dart in this way, and you are going to trace a line from the waist to the armhole point. Now keep it folded and cut that line, continue for the hips line, and there you have it. Now put your patterns together like this and close the side dart. Keep it together in the armhole corner, and as you can see here, there is a difference about 1 inch. This is the difference of the dart. Mark the middle point here and trace a slightly curved line like this to make it equal on the sides than the back pattern. Now for the sleeve pattern, trace again a 90 degrees angle, and now divide your breast contour by 10 and mark it here. And we are going to add 5 centimeters. We are tracing a relatively long cap of this sleeve. Square a line there, because for tailored garments is like that, the cap is longer. Now here mark from shoulders to elbow and trace a line there also. And here mark from shoulders to wrist and also square a line. This is the bottom line of your sleeve. Now take the measurement of your hand like this, and half of that measurement mark it here in the base of your sleeve. Now, we are going to take the measurement of both armholes in front and back patterns with the measuring tape like this and note it here on each pattern. Now add those two measurements together. I recommend you to do it in centimeters to get the total of your armhole. For me is 42.8 centimeters. That I will divide it by 2 to get the half, and then I will reduce 4.5 centimeters. This measurement in centimeters, in my case 16.9, I will mark it here in this line, the second line I trace in my sleeve. Mark it there, and from that point trace a line here. Now from that point in the bottom to this point also trace a line. We are going to trace first the back curve of our sleeve, so I will write it here only for reference because later it will change. Now this segment, take the measurement and divide it by 3 and mark the third parts like this. Now in this third part I'm going to square a line out, and there I will mark 2.2 centimeters. And now this is my last third part. I will mark the half, and there I will square a line inside. In that line I'm going to mark 1 centimeter. I will start tracing my curve join these 3 points with my French curve in this position. And now I will join these last 3 points with my French curve in this position to finish my back curve. There is a back curve. Now from this point in this line, mark 5 millimeters, and in this point is the end of the third part. Square a line and there mark 5 millimeters also. And now from this point mark also 5 millimeters inside, and I will join now with another color the first 3 points for the front curve, and then the last 3 points. Like this. Now you have to fold the paper by the central line of your pattern and cut following the back curve and the contour of your pattern. Now unfold it and cut by the second line we trace, means the front curve, and now this is the front curve. Turn it to the other side, and this will be now the front part of your sleeve, and this will be the back. You can also trace the lines, and you can recognize if you are right in front and back because the curves are different. The front curve is deeper. I will make these 2 marks just to be sure for reference when I transform my sleeve, like this. This is the front part and the back. And there you have it, your patterns are ready. Now to finish the class I want to explain you what is the difference between these patterns and the basic patterns we made before. Well, as I told you before, these patterns are made to work with more tailored garments. That means more formal garments such as jackets, coats, blazers, shirts, dresses, etc. And those differences you probably noticed in the process we were making it. First is the shoulder slope. In these patterns that we made in this video, the shoulder slope is compulsory. We always have to mark shoulder slope. Another difference is, if you notice, the armhole in the front pattern is different from the armhole in the back pattern. That difference, it will make our shoulder seam to be transferred to the front of the garment. That is useful for a better fitting when we are working with collars and with lapels. Another difference is, in these tailored patterns the darts are compulsory. That's why we mark the dart in the back and the side and the waist dart in the front. And as I mentioned before, the cap sleeve in these patterns is longer because that will give a more formal look to your garments, as you can see, for example, in the coats or in the jackets. If you have any doubt, don't hesitate to leave me a comment in this video. Like the video if you think it's useful and share it with your friends. Please read the description box below this video to know more about these patterns and my networks in case you want to contact me there. Thank you so much for watching this video and happy stitches for everyone. I will see you the next time.